Animation in games isn't just about moving the characters, but it's about moving them efficiently in real time. That's where technical animators come in. They bridge the gap between art and engineering, building animation rigs, optimizing deformation, and scripting procedural motion to make sure that the game runs smoothly on all the hardware. Let's dive into how they make these animations look not just good, but run smoothly on a game engine. In this episode, we have Atri Dave from Ubisoft, who is a director of technical animations, and he's going to help us understand how. Firstly, thanks a lot for this short notice and making time for this. I would really want you to start with a quick introduction of what you are doing and how you started in your career.
Well, yes, that was a short notice, but that was absolute pleasure. I saw your channel and I saw certain kind of really nice stuff is happening at India level as well. So I just wanted to, as soon as we connected, I thought, okay, let's do it. Yeah, so on an introduction side, yeah. So originally, I'm from India itself, from small town, big town, Ahmedabad, and born and raised over there. Always interested with the games and animation. So I used to work at the Mumbai at the Prana, famous and
Oh
Maya
yeah,
Entertainment.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually one
So
of the biggest into VFX and all, no? Back.
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, so at my time when I left the Prana at the time that was our topmost studio. So but I was always interested into interactive entertainment rather than the linear based stuff.
Yeah,
So where you can go inside that virtual world and you can control certain kind of situation. According to that situation, something can happen to you. So I was always interested into that. And in the studio, we always used to play games. So I used to play Far Cry, and when I actually particularly played that game, insane kind of a graphics, it completely blew my mind. Oh, that's a typical word we use in India as well. So blew my mind, but that was insane. And then I typed it, hey, which studio make that?
yeah,
And studio was Crytek. So I just applied, and I was so fortunate that they contacted me. Hey, are you interested with the Crisis 3? And I said yes, absolutely. So my journey actually with the game started with a Crytek, and as a core technical, I had expertise on animation and rigging and pipeline development and many other facets,
yeah.
which they were looking for. They were looking for like some person who can actually build entire system with the new technology which we used to use for the VFX and animations for the games. So that's why they hired me, and I worked on Crisis 3. So all the alien characters which you're seeing in Crisis is made by me. I
Wow.
developed completely all the aliens which you are shooting. And the same way Psycho also was my character. And yeah, progressively I worked with various different kind of project. Rise Son of Rome, Nero is my character, Battalion is my character, and that was one of the best graphical, still people say that one of the most accomplished graphical and fidelity wise on a video game side. So was very fortunate to work over there. And as a technical artist and technical animator, you have to do almost everything. So I worked almost everything. But yeah, so Crytek, after Crytek, I moved to Cloud Imperium Games, and it is most money wise, it's a biggest crowd-funded project run by Chris Roberts.
Okay.
So Star Citizen is the game, and in entire Crytek group moved over there. So I also moved with them, and that was a very ambitious project. Still, it's running. It's a very nice kind of a project. Procedurally generating the planet, AAA kind of a quality, lots of NPCs, lots of levels, lots of systems. So it's this huge project I worked on.
Yeah.
And so over there, same thing, motion capturing, building different kind of pipeline, FPS, entire module, ships, games, and how to connecting DCCs with our propriety. Oh, I will say now it is not propriety, it is uh, lumberyard, that kind of engine.
Yeah, yeah.
And then move to uh, Unity Research Lab, and where I used to work with the machine learning and computer vision research scientists to build different kind of a new generation facial solver. And we were working with a different kind of projects where from the prompt itself or procedurally we can regenerate different kind of a character itself, maybe like a meta human kind of a project.
Got it.
Yeah, and we worked on virtual production stuff as well.
Got
And yeah, last not the least, Ubisoft.
it. So what is happening at Ubisoft? What you are actually mentioned that you are a technical animator or
Yes.
a
Yeah.
director of technical
Of
animation,
yeah.
right?
Technician.
Can
Yes.
you actually just give the basics of in just simple words? What does a technical animator really do?
I think in the last decade, two department got separated: technical art and technical animation. Technical animators majorly focus on animation perspective. So still, you can divide that thing into four groups: developing the pipeline, building up the rigs, building particularly animation graph or motion system inside the engine. Um, and sometimes we go for the motion capture, work with the designers. Hey, how entire system should be on an animation perspective. Whatever vision you have for the game, just be architect of developing that vision for art directors, animators, and all the users. So that's what we do, understand all the aspects on animation perspective. And for that, whatever you need to do in content creation wise, building the pipelines or inside the engine, that's what normally all the technical animators do.
Got it, got it. So in simple words, how does that really um, is different from a traditional animator? Traditional animator usually focuses on the assets
Yes.
directly, or how does that work?
So traditional animators, so if you want to say that would be good example, like in a films or a linear kind of a filmmaking, animators has a rig, and animators just animate these things and just make sure that character has all the look and feels and everything,
Correct.
right? uh, so technical animator normally they don't animate,
Okay.
they capture the performances. uh, but technical animator, as I mentioned earlier, all four aspects are there. They have to deliver on everything, because in a game making, you are a bridge for everything on a technical animation perspective. So your responsibilities are much higher, and expectation is way much higher than the traditional just animators.
Got
So
it.
they are different.
Got it.
In a way, profile wise, it's also very different.
Got it. You said that you have to take care of the performances, which, uh, if like, am I right if I'm saying that it's somewhere connected to motion capture technology?
Yes, technology wise, yes, it's a motion capture. Uh, and motion capture is slightly limited word in terms of what actually it gives the value.
Okay.
So so since you mentioned the traditional animator, so traditional animator actually understand what is the story, what kind of a character it is, and according to that he animates and makes sure that the feel and persona, everything comes in his animation.
Yeah.
Similarly, motion capture actually technically capture any kind of emotion. You have a camera, and you have particularly markers on facial side. You have different kind of dots. I am sure your viewers might have seen lots of
Yeah.
videos where they see certain kind of characters with a black suit and markers and certain dots on the faces. So uh, technically it's fine, but for the game, we are providing any player to relive the life of that character. So that's why it is very much important. So any motion performance artist, they act, they just act like a movie.
Yeah.
In a movie, and over here you are just wearing a technical gadgets, so we capture all the essence which they are actually performing,
Yeah.
and that what we bring it to the game. So when our player plays that, they can feel, hey, they are, this is the actual character, and that builds entire narrative for game. So I would say, yeah, motion, instead of a motion capture, let's say, hey, it's a performance capture.
Got it, got it. No, because you rightly said, India have seen these kind of videos. We've trying to, understand that, and we are actually trying to implement that. A lot of game developers are actually trying to
Yeah,
work with mocap studios today
yeah.
to bring that kind of performances in their games. But when you say it's just not motion capture and performance, right? Performance capture thing, right? Is there any other medium or a technology that is also used apart from having the suits and then performing?
Yeah, so we can divide it into body capture.
Okay.
Technically, perspective, if you're saying that we can divide it into body capture, and then we can say one facet, and very important facets, heavily complex and money draining kind of process is also that. That's a facial capture. And then nowadays in games, we go for the virtual production. So we have pre-build our maps, and we just put all the data directly over there, so we can visualize, hey, what's going to happen. So now I think in a linear films they are calling it virtual production, but
Yeah.
we used to do that thing long time back. So so these three major aspects, I will say,
Got
are
it.
for the games.
Got it. So the again the audience also right now, who's watching this video, is fairly new to the concepts.
Mhm.
Can you give me like a simple pipeline of how mocap is done and integrated in the game?
Yeah, so I think Avatar is a really great kind of example. I think it's widely available. So if you are just gonna Google search it, how Avatar making, so they have a lots of video how they have a certain person on a mocap suit, and facial captures for the cameras are there. So that is a visual representation wise. So technically what we do is we provide different kind of a suit to our performer or our actor, and we put different kind of motion sensors into their body, and that actually helps to like 16 or 20 32 different kind of cameras. Normally it's a Vicon cameras or Optitrax camera, which captures and tracks entire thing altogether. Some Most of the time in video games we add facial capture together because we always want to sync that thing.
Yeah.
So once that thing is there, then middleware like Optitrax or Vicon produce FBX kind of a files. That FBX files we actually transfer either into Motion Builder and re characterize or retarget it to our character. Most of the AAA studios have a pipeline, extended pipeline for the Maya side as well, because nowadays things are so complex. You have to animate different kind of secondary motions as well. So we retarget the similar kind of a motion cleaned up data on a motion builder side, bring it to the Maya, and then secondary motions and any other additional cloth animations and many other things
Got it.
which we do on a Maya side. And then things are pretty again straightforward, traditional way. Export that thing as your
As a got
proprietary
it. Like a
um,
FBX or an
extension
animation.
inside the engine.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's a high level pipeline, but it is very complex.
Yeah, yeah. It's very simple to hear.
Yes, daily stuff, but yeah, but it's a simple in one line
Yeah,
linear way. Yeah.
got it, got it. So you mentioned you worked with major studios like Ubisoft, Unity, Crytek, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what are the differences in how these studios approach animation and technical art? See, because I am
Yeah.
very sure there are hundreds of things that India probably would not be aware of. I mean, I'm not
Mm,
generalizing it. There are few studios who are actually working with AAA studios outside, providing the art assets and stuff like that. But to create like an ecosystem in India, we actually need to learn from the experienced people who have actually built
yeah.
things like that, right? So I just wanted to understand some differences that you felt working with these people, with the bigger folks.
Yeah. Well, I say that that was like a DNA of every different kind of a company. Um, that brings different things. For for the Crytek, mm, bigger vision from the Savat, who actually founded the company, was, hey, we are gonna be the most pioneer, most innovative kind of a person who delivers certain things which no one has ever imagined. So thought process actually starts from that. So each and every person, either you're a physics programmer or you're an animator or you are a game designer or something, everyone thinks like that. We want to do something which no one has done. So same in a Crytek, that was always a neck from each and every individual animators, each and every technical animators. This thing is not possible. How can we make that thing possible?
Got it.
So that was the attitude of the studio itself, and that actually brought so many things, new innovative things in the world of in our industry.
Yeah.
I think Unreal is also following what we had done 10 years back. So that was main DNA, I will say. On Unity side, the biggest DNA of that company was, how can we make each and every user's life so easy so they can actually build most amazing game which they want to build without worrying anything. So users are always in their mind. So I will say, with a great confidence, Unity is the most easy engine to make a games on,
Yeah.
because it's a DNA where users are the first and we understand how they're going to work. So same way on animation side, we always used to think, which are the problems which animator face, which are the
Yeah.
problems gameplay animation programmers face, and according to that we used to make a workflow. And on a Ubisoft side, we are great storytellers.
Yeah.
Check out any Ubisoft IP. We tell the stories very amazing, creative way. So that's a heart and base core mechanics and base DNA for Ubisoft. So everyone thinks like that.
Got it.
So animator also thinks, hey, how can I deliver that story much better way? So
No,
it's complete DNA. So I will say that.
yeah, yeah, I'm very sure because I'm very sure that you've learned something from all of these different
Yes.
companies, right?
Yeah.
That has eventually made what you are today. Uh,
Mhm.
what we are also doing today when we are working with Sony, we are learning a lot. from
Yes.
them, things that we had no clue that even existed, right? Just in terms of optimization levels also, like
Yeah.
uh, like
Uh,
how to use foliage,
uh,
because you'll see a lot of younger Indian folks who
yes.
just use Unreal. They'll make a beautiful landscape and they'll just start making a game without thinking about anything. um,
Oh.
but that's not the case, right? You actually have
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah. Outside studios who has shipped multiple games, they already face that problem. That's why
Correct.
we have certain kind of validators and certain kind of guidelines. Hey, do this or don't that. But I can say in a game making optimization and making sure, hey, our FPS is dropping, we have to do something. So last year when we are actually decided, okay, all the features are done, now we have to ship the game and we have to fix the bugs, we have to optimize the things, we have to make sure that it's under the memory budgets. So it's a crazy kind of a year. So whatever you are doing right now, it happens even if you know each and everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a part of our game making process.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, the best part is actually getting to work with these people and scaling up your own skills while you are working
Yes.
with them.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. If you have certain guidelines from the beginning, it's easier
It's easier.
to clean that last year phase for triple A.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. You actually mentioned a couple of words which I'm really curious about. You
Uh-huh.
said procedural animation.
Yeah.
What is procedural animation and how is it different from traditional keyframe animations?
Yeah. So on a high level, basic, low level, we can say things which you are doing with the code. If you are animating certain things with the code or a logic graph inside the engine, can be considered as a procedure. So, for
Mhm.
example, if you have any dragon kind of a character and who is following the path of certain kind of a path on a linear way,
Yeah,
or you have a tentacle, which we is with a sine wave, which is just animating.
got it.
So that kind of animations are procedural. There are many complex examples as well on a layering side and many other things, but as a low level wise we can consider that way. Whatever you are animating with a code is a procedural animation. And keyframe animation, yeah, it's a straightforward. You are animating it, baking the data, and exporting inside the
Yeah.
engine.
No,
So,
no, you actually cleared my doubt completely with that
yeah,
one example of of yeah. No, but this is interesting because I think the more randomness you bring into the animations as well,
true,
uh,
true.
it it becomes more lively. It
Yeah,
doesn't stay static, right?
yeah. And another advantage of a procedural animations are, because when you are going for a keyframe kind of animation, uh, they are baked, you cannot change it in a real time. We have to change certain kind of animation, um, and you don't have any kind of a control on a keyframe animation. So with the programming itself now, um, I can say the motion warping concept. So now if you have created certain kind of vaulting animation, and it's a 1 meter. Now, in a game, you have 1.5 meter vaulting also, which you have to support. So how you're going to do it? Either you have to build a new asset, otherwise you can just procedurally say, hey, it's a zero point 0.5. How much you're going to stretch your animation with a height in a XYZ or different kind of a three vectors.
Yeah.
And you can do that thing similarly with the procedurally. So to modify your keyframe animation, you have to depend on procedural animation as well.
Got it. Got it. That's crazy. You actually worked at on a broader spectrum, like right from Crytek, which has its own engine, right,
Hmm.
to Unity, which is the engine in itself. Crytek again was the same thing, but then Ubisoft. which has its own proprietary engine, right? Um,
Yeah.
what I wanted to understand is, how is the experience um, working on generic engines which are widely used by people for making a
Yeah.
game versus a proprietary engine in that one particular company.
Yeah.
That's part A. Part B
Yeah.
is, how important do you think a company who is planning a long-term journey
Yeah.
should build their own libraries or engines in their journey?
Oh, yeah. Well, that decision is not that easy, but entire what I have seen, entire thing depends on two things. What is your team strength, and second most important thing is royalty and a licensing.
Yeah,
So uh, certain people makes their own engine because they are capable of it, first of all. And second thing is, right now it says after a certain kind of threshold for the Unreal also, if I am correct, 100K or something, you have to start giving the 5% or 10% something kind of a royalty over there.
yeah,
So business perspective, certain bigger studios, they build their own thing, so they can have a much bigger stake when they are selling like millions of copies,
yeah,
so it's more profitable. um Propriety wise, it has an advantage because you have a pro team, and it's your development is very faster, because any new feature which you require for your game which is not available outside, you can build it, and it can be specific to your game needs. um, and it has cons as well. If something is stuck, then something is stuck, so you have to build everything from the scratch. For public facing engines like Unity, um, you have so many things already ready for you. You are just developing your own vision and selling it. But I will say that if it's a first or second game for you, best use widely available engines
yeah,
because it costs a lots of money to build it.
yeah.
But if you have a lots of money, lots of funding, you
And
can
time.
definitely think, yeah, because it takes a hell of a time, because I
Yeah,
have seen. Um, so
absolutely.
yeah, it's a very complex question in it individual way.
Yeah. You actually again mentioned the mocap on the face, right? That is one of the crucial parts when you actually bring out the performances. Uh,
Yes.
Unreal on their side is also doing meta human and stuff
Yeah.
with it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
so one thing which was like a buzzword for last 2 years was
Hmm.
generative AI, right?
Yeah.
How do you think, like, how is generative AI helpful in art and animations today?
Oh well, it's gonna speed up all the content creation uh, times, I will say. It's very promising. I will say I have also started using it. It's very promising. I'm not gonna say, hey, everything is done with a click of button, or everything is done with a prompt based or something. You are getting your base animations or base concept art or anything which you can start from very quickly, so it is reducing a lots of amount of time. And It's gonna be popular, and I think we all have to learn that skills, uh, forward thinking way. But one thing I also want to say as a drawback wise, sometimes, or most of the time, it doesn't fulfill exact vision what creator want to create.
Yeah,
So he just have to adapt what is actually bringing in. So great example, we say, hey, I want to create this kind of a character. It has this kind of a feature. Our concept artist understand because he lives in the real world. He interact with a different kind of personalities. He draws according to that certain features.
Yeah.
Yeah, but AI is getting smarter and smarter. Generative AI. So in animation, concept art, modeling, there's tremendous research is going on, and it will completely change the things.
Yeah. So it's so you're being very positive about.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. But I hope people won't bash me because there is a battle going on
yeah.
between.
No, no.
Yeah,
I
in between.
strongly feel that it is it is just helping us speed up everything,
Yeah.
right from not just art, but I'm a game producer, designer, director, right? So
Uh huh.
for me also, it's the idea creation, the conceptualization. It becomes really fast
Yeah.
compared to what you used to do earlier, right?
Yeah. So yeah, well, on the same topic, many studios like Roblox and Meta and everyone is actually trying to build an entire universe with a prompt. So just imagine what kind of a scale it's gonna have.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Cool. Before we wrap it up, I wanted to ask you one simple thing.
Yeah,
Because again, this whole thing is focused towards people who are looking to get into the industry in
yeah,
different domains, aspiring game developers, artists, animators. What advice? Because you have ample amount of experience working with these bigger companies. So what crisp advice would you give to someone aspiring to become a technical animator? Because I am sure a lot of people, when you talk about it, it's very exciting, it's very even when I am already in this profession, I feel I want to experience and I want to get more closer to that aspect. So
yeah,
for aspiring technical animators, what skills should they focus on? And if they are looking to build their portfolios, what are the things
yeah,
you would recommend them to do?
yeah. Well, I will say the technical animator is most successful when you have super fidelity and responsiveness wise character which is playing in the game. To make that thing happen, I will say that just start understanding how different kind of animation graph works. Either you pick up unity, then understand how blend trees and how to hook up different kind of animation, how that works together. Then yes, to bring that animation in, just understand how to export the things and how to build that rig and how everything is connected all together. If you are going to have that kind of understanding with a higher goal, I just want to create the really awesome character which you are just using either your keypad or gamepad, which works with a very fluid kind of animation. So that's ultimate goal. If you can have it, that would be super awesome. And just like in a portfolio, if you can show all the four parts, like how you're building particularly animation graph or animation blueprint, particularly how you're rigging the character, how you are building the export pipelines, and how you're retargeting different kind of a motion capture to your custom pipelines. So that is most ideal kind of a portfolio and showreel for the
That
technical
is
animators.
that is super insightful, Atri. Thanks a lot for your time. This was a very crisp conversation, but very useful for the audience. Once again, thank you for joining.
Pleasure is mine, and I want to wish you best of luck for the movie. I saw the trailer; that was really nice one. I'm looking forward to more updates and more trailers. I love to play that game as well,
Yes.
and I'm so happy that Indian animation industry is also, and as well as our game industry is also growing really great way,
Yeah.
and we are making. Yeah, so super happy and super. Pleasure to meet you as well.